Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rudy here with the Retro Universe, and today is just kind of a continuation of my previous video on the DS Lite. Now, last time I showed my case here with all my DS and 3DS games, and I thought I'd just go through the case real quick with you guys and just show you what I have and talk a little bit about the games. Nothing in super depth because that would take a really long time. But yeah, just gonna go through here. Here's one of my DS Lites that I showed in the last video. Here's my 3DS. By the way, still working great. Still a fantastic handheld. So yeah, there's my 3DS. Gonna move it over there. So we're gonna move these guys because today the topic is just gonna be games. So this is a combination of 3DS games and DS games. I'm pretty sure everything I have is in here. There's a few extra games that I have in here that I've just collected over the years. A lot of times when I get some of these DSs, like on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, they come with a bunch of extra games, sometimes, you know, kids games and stuff like that. So those might be in here. I haven't even gone through this just to make sure. But yeah, some of those games I haven't even played. They're just in my case. But let's get started here. Let's turn it around. All right, so first we got a combination here of games. Start with a banger here, 3D Mario Land, which is an amazing game. This game works best if you are using the 3D functionality on the 3DS, just because a lot of the levels are designed around using the 3D and just like the perspective stuff. So 3D Mario Land, definitely a great 3DS game and just a great Mario game overall. I would put it up there with, you know, something like a Mario 64, where it's just one of those games that did a lot of cool stuff, and the level design is really great. Really great music, of course, from Mario. Then here we have a Sims 3 game. This was my niece's game. She gave it to me when she gave me one of her DSs because she wasn't playing anymore. But I've never played this 3DS game, so I honestly don't even know what it looks like when you're running it. But maybe I'll check it out one day and see how different it is from like the PC games and you know the console games that came out for it. But I do love The Sims. I love myself some Sims for sure. Just never played this 3DS one. This game honestly is such an underrated gem in my opinion. Brothers in Arms DS. It's a third-person shooter on the DS, and you know the way you control it is you are moving your character with this. You shoot with L, and then you control the aiming with the stylus. Really neat game. Like I said, totally underrated. And if you like World War II games and third-person shooter games, and you're looking for something like that on the DS, Brothers in Arms DS is definitely something I would recommend. Really good game. Of course, another amazing banger is Mario Kart DS. Probably still to this day one of my favorite Mario Kart games. I chalk it up there with my favorites as you know, Mario Kart 64. You know, Mario Kart 8, of course, is great. It has so many courses and it looks the best. But Mario Kart DS, I played the hell out of this game, and it's just one of my favorites of all time. If you've never played Mario Kart DS, definitely check it out. It introduced the drifting stuff, and just overall a fun game with a good amount of levels and a good amount of characters. Not a lot, but you know, for a DS game, it was definitely great. And then, of course, another one from my niece here, Nintendogs. I used to play the old Nintendogs on the DS, the original DS. And I don't know what happened to that copy of mine that I had. But I've never launched these 3DS ones. But yeah, I used to remember playing the DS one and having a dog and all that stuff. It was really cool. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe we'll see if they have any corgis in here, because I love me some corgis. Nintendogs, people know what that's about. And then, of course, New Super Mario Brothers for the DS. Fantastic platformer. My favorite in the New Super Mario Brothers series. I feel like they did too many of these games. Honestly, this one was enough, and maybe the first Wii one, but then they just kept going and going. And, you know, the music style, that got super repetitive. But New Super Mario Brothers, the first one on the DS, is amazing. The levels are great. The music is great. Overall, the power-ups, all that stuff is awesome. I really love the turtle shell that you get to use on this game. Alright, and then Diddy Kong 64. I played the hell out of this game on the Nintendo 64. I was such a huge fan of it. We had Mario Kart as well, but this one was a little different. It had a whole story mission set up where you would unlock different areas, and then you also had, you know, flight and you know, like the hover, not the hover, like the water things, water jets or whatever you call them. So it had different car types and stuff like that that you could use. It wasn't just racing in go-karts. But yeah, Diddy Kong 64 is great character selection, great levels, and like I said, it has a whole like mission story-based setup where you're unlocking different areas with different tracks and stuff, and definitely a really great game. Call of Duty Black Ops, never played this on the DS. Again, these are just some games that came with some DSs that I would buy, but never even launched it. I've never really been a huge Call of Duty fan. I like games like Brothers in Arms on the PS3 and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm not huge on Call of Duty unless it's maybe Call of Duty on mobile. That's probably like the only one that I'm any good at, but never been a competitive Call of Duty player by any means. Let's go ahead and turn this around so we can show, oh, there's only 3 right here. Brain Age. Brain Age is a fun, you know, brain teasing game. It's really good to test your wits and stuff like that. One of the early DS games that got really popular with the older crowd, and I think that's what helped the DS become a phenomenon with like older people, just because you had games like this where people just wanted to, you know, test out their brain and all that stuff. But yeah, Brain Age is great. Here's another Nintendogs game. Like I said, my niece just decided to give them all to me, and so I said, what the hell, I'll take them and I'll just put them in my collection. But yeah, that's another Nintendogs. Fantastic game is Zelda's Phantom Hourglass. Now, the one thing I'll say is this game was highly, like, a lot of people didn't like the mechanics of only being able to control Link using the stylus. I sort of agree, but after some point I got so used to using it. I got so used to just, you know, controlling him and doing everything with the stylus after a while. It's hard to get used to at first, but it does get better over time. If you want to play this game with like actual button controls and the D-pad, you can get a ROM online that has the D-pad like functionality on it, and you can control Link and everything using the buttons and the D-pad, and you can play it like a traditional over-the-top you know, 3D Zelda game. So that's online somewhere if you decide you want to play this game that way. I'm pretty sure they did Spirit Tracks as well, like that. But this game is great. The story's great. The dungeons are fun, and then, you know, the way Link emotes and everything is very reminiscent of the Wind Waker series, and it's a continuation of Wind Waker. So if Wind Waker is a series that is a game that you enjoy, then definitely play Phantom Hourglass. All right, let's try and keep going. I got another Diddy Kong copy. Because I remember I had got one for my niece a long time ago, and so that one was hers, and I ended up just having another copy. So 2 copies of that. My Sims was a game that I really enjoyed back in the day when I was a little younger. It's a combination of like Animal Crossing and the Sims gameplay, and it was fun. For some reason, I enjoyed it a lot. It was the characters looked neat and everything like that, but it is a different Sims game where you're like in a town, you move to a town, and then you're talking to people, like I said, slash Animal Crossing style. But yeah, My Sims, the first one, is not bad. The one on Wii had a lot more functionality, but this one's not terrible. If you're looking for like a basic, you know, Sims slash Animal Crossing style game, this one's definitely up there for you. And then Cooking Mama, I love Cooking Mama on the Wii. The DS one, actually, I don't think this DS one works anymore. I don't remember. I haven't played it in a long time, but I remember, I think the last time I tried to, it wasn't reading. I might just need to clean the contacts on it. But Cooking Mama is great. You know, great fun little mini games of cooking different types of food and stuff like that. The Wii one was the one that I played a lot of. But the DS ones are pretty great too. This one's the second one here. But yeah, Cooking Mama. Mortal Kombat. Ultimate Mortal Kombat has 1, 2, and 3 Mortal Kombat in it. They're great. This is a great way to play Mortal Kombat on the go. Where you don't need like a big system. But yeah, this Ultimate Mortal Kombat is just fun. And it's a Mortal Kombat game. If you like fighting games, it's great. I mean, it's, you know, single player. I don't know if they have any kind of DS download play on it. But yeah, if you like Mortal Kombat fighting games, definitely check out Ultimate Mortal Kombat. That game is great on the DS. Here we have Final Fantasy 3. Now this one I couldn't really get into. I don't know if I just didn't like the way it looks or something, but I didn't get too deep into this game. I'm sure there's a lot of people that really love Final Fantasy 3. But yeah, this is one of the ones that I just really couldn't get into. I don't know, maybe I'll give it another shot, but it's a Final Fantasy game, it's an RPG, it's all in 3D and stuff like that. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy 3. And here we have a tragic case of something horrible happening to my copy of Pokemon Heart Gold. This is a legit copy. It's the one that I had that came with the Pokewalker, which I actually have somewhere over here. Yeah, so I have my Pokewalker. So as you can see, the label is kind of busted. Unfortunately, I had this in a bag and some lotion got on it, and it kind of just ruined the sticker. But I've left it as is. I didn't want to change it. But yeah, the game still plays fine. Thankfully, nothing was damaged. The game will still run. The game still is recognized with the Pokewalker and everything. But yeah, unfortunately, the label just got really bad. Never, you know, have these games loose in a in a bag. It happened a long time ago. But yeah, I still have it. It still works. But yeah, I was really sad when I looked at it and I saw how damaged the sticker got. All right, moving along, guys. Here we have Spyro. Spyro, what is the title of this one? Dawn of the Dragon. This came with one of the DSs I got. I played it for a little bit. I didn't really enjoy it. I like the 3D Spyro games, and this was all like 2D side-scrolling. But yeah, it's a Spyro game. If you like Spyro, you can check it out. But yeah, I was a fan of the old PlayStation 1 games, so I kind of gave it a shot, but then I was like, yeah, it's not that great. Animal Crossing on the DS. I probably put so many hours into this game back in the day, and honestly, I remember so much of always going into the holiday stuff that they would have for it. I remember having my DS on for New Year's. Like, I had it on for the countdown timer, everything. I was there. Hey man, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure I wasn't the only one. But yeah, I would carry this game around with me everywhere. I would check it every day, do everything. I played the hell out of it. I tried going back to it recently and tried to keep up, but honestly, like now with the newer games, it's really hard to go back to, and it runs at like 20 frames per second, which is pretty tough. But I love the music for this game. I really am bummed with New Horizons music. It's okay, but if you get a chance to listen to the music from Wild World and also from what is it, the towns, I forget what that the one that came out for Wii was, City Folk. It's the same music, it's just, you know, up-resed, higher quality, but the music for Wild World is some of my favorite Animal Crossing music. And I know they'll never go back to it, but great Animal Crossing game. I put so many hours into that game, it's ridiculous. And then here we have Yoshis Island DS. This is labeled as faded. I got it at a swap meet, and you know, unfortunately, swap meets, flea markets, they just kind of have games out in the sun all day. So this game got cooked. The label got really cooked. But it runs great. It's a, you know, it's a not a remake, but it's the Super Nintendo version of the game. So you still just play through all that and stuff, and it's a great Yoshi's Island game. Yoshi's Island games are fun. They're super easy for the most part. They kind of use more exploration than the typical Mario game, so you're exploring around a little bit more, finding a lot of hidden stuff in the levels, which I really like that they do. So you're not there to rush through the course. You're there to look around and see what you can find, see what kind of hidden areas and hidden items and stuff that you can find. But Yoshi's Island DS, really fun game if you love Yoshi and the Mario series. And yeah, that's a good game. Tetris DS is another fantastic game. Probably the second best Tetris game that I like, right up there with the Game Boy Tetris, the original one. But this is cool because you have Mario levels and Legend of Zelda levels, and I think also Metroid levels playing out on the top screen while you're going through and doing Tetris-y stuff and going through the levels. The more lines you break, the more Mario progresses. He's kind of just running around on the level, and then once you start to break lines, he'll go through the levels as well. which is really cool. Game gets really hard, of course, the longer you're playing it, but Tetris DS is up there with one of my favorite Tetris games. Definitely check that one out if you've never played it. Leap Beat Agents. I still remember waiting at GameStop one morning to go pick up this game because it looked awesome. I love rhythm-based games, and you know, Guitar Hero, all that stuff was huge around this time, and Nintendo put out Elite Beat Agents, which just lets you kind of play through a bunch of different, you know, top hits from back in the day, even from like, you know, 70s, 80s, into the 2000s, of course. They're all cover songs though, so you're not hearing the original tracks, but honestly, some of them aren't that bad. But yeah, this one's great. You have a lot of different difficulty levels. They can get really, really hard. But Elite Beat Agents is super fun. The music is great in it. And then like the little stories that play out for each song are really cool. You're the Inspiration is still makes me cry to this day because that little montage of footage for that track on this game is heartbreaking. But Elite Beat Agents, of course, is up. Alright, sorry for the brief cut there, guys. My phone decided to run out of storage, so I had to clear up some stuff on it. But the last game I talked about was Elite Beat Agents, I believe. So let's go ahead and continue here. I'll try and rush through a little bit more because there's quite a bit. My Japanese coach, look at this. My dog, back in the day, decided to chew it all to hell. Unfortunately, this game doesn't run anymore, but it was a fun little... you know, teach Japanese stuff. I did learn a little bit from it, but yep, my dog decided to destroy it. I hang on to it for sentimental reasons, I guess, because it was when our dog was still a puppy. Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones of those for different languages and stuff, but there's better options now on how to pick up languages. Plants vs. Zombies, fantastic mobile game. I remember when it first came out. This is a great way to play it as well. Sometimes it can run a little rough when there's a lot of stuff going on the screen, but this I think is probably the best way to play now because I feel like the Plants vs. Zombies on the mobile app store now is only ads. I don't know if you can buy one without ads, but yeah, the one on the phones is just is not great. So it's a great game to have on the DS. I love this game. Play it every now and again when I'm feeling up for the mood for some zombies and some plants. Indiana Jones, I've never played this. This is... And the Staff of Kings. Yeah, never played this game. This is another game that just came in a DS collection. I'm not going to talk much about that. Now, Theme Park. Theme Park is a great game that I played a lot of. It's not a remake, but it's a version of it that originally came out on like PlayStation 1, and I'm sure it came out on PC too. A fantastic game, a fantastic little roller coaster tycoon style of game. Theme Park, I played a lot of back in the day with my sister on PlayStation 1. I still remember the cheat code Bovine. That gave you money and stuff like that, just because we would enter it all the time. But yeah, Theme Park is great on the DS. It sucks that they got rid of all the little like cutscenes, the 3D animations where you could get on the rides. That you would set up and everything like that. That's only on the PlayStation 1 and the console versions that came out. If you can find a way to play the console ones, I'd recommend it. This one's kind of neat because you can use a stylus to, you know, set up your paths and place all your stuff. But if you can find a way to play the console version, do that instead, just because you can see all the cutscenes and stuff like that for it. Which is great. I love that game. It's a great game. Another great game, Kirby Triple Deluxe. This is a fantastic Kirby game on the 3DS. Kirby games, for the most part, aren't all that difficult. So this is just a fun ride that you get to go through and play. I've always loved Kirby games, the music. Kirby himself is awesome. I know a lot of people like the robot one that came out after this one, but Triple Deluxe is really great. Check it out on 3DS if you have a chance. Another game that I spent a lot of time with was Star Fox. What is it called? Command. Star Fox Command. This was one of my first DS games also that I had, and I played the hell out of this game. You control the R-Wings with the stylus, which, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I get it. Nintendo is trying to do everything with the DS possible, so you control it with the stylus, and then you have buttons for, like, doing barrel rolls. Or I think barrel rolls, you just move your stylus in a circle, but... they do have some buttons for some of the commands. This was a fun game. I remember it a lot. It's a little bit more strategic, but you still go down into like an area. It's not like the 64 one where you're just going on a path. This is more like an arena type of thing. So it's not your Star Fox 64 style where you're going through a level like straightforward. This one's more arena based. But yeah, Star Fox Command is fantastic if you get a chance to play it. Pokemon X, I left the Pokemon games for a while, so this was not a game that I played when it came out. I got this much later in life. They're fine. Pokemon X is a great game. I kind of don't like the way they control the character. It was the first 3DS one, and you know, they were still trying to figure out how they wanted the characters to control. I'm so used to the Game Boy and stuff, the way the characters controlled, and this one, once you get the roller skates and stuff like that, I just feel the controls are a little weird. But that's just me. Like I said, I didn't grow up with this one. I didn't play it when it came out. But yeah, Pokemon X and Y series, they're there. I gotta play through them. I know I do. This is another copy of Phantom Hourglass. I already talked about this game. You guys know Phantom Hourglass. It's a great game. We are chugging along here. Almost done, guys. Flash Focus is just another brain teaser type of game that just has challenges and stuff like that to test out your knowledge and all that stuff. There's that. Namco Museum DS has all your classic, you know, Namco games from arcades and stuff like that. So you got Pac-Man, Dig Dug, all that stuff. It's a great little collection to have on the DS also. These are just great games that you can jump into real quick to play. You know, when you have some downtime. Best of Test DS. I've never played this. This came with the collection, but I'm guessing it's another like teaser type of game. Yeah, so there's that. Did I miss something? I didn't, right? Okay, I'm tripping. All right. So yeah, I've never played that. Harvest Moon DS also. It's not that great. There's better Harvest Moon games out there. The DS one I heard is not that fun. I think there's another version on the DS that runs pretty good. But I started playing this one and I wasn't really having a good time with it. I think I really like the Super Nintendo one. But yeah, Harvest Moon DS is okay. I'm sure a lot of people were super nostalgic for it. I got it later in life and stuff. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is a super great Mario and Luigi game. Hey, we just got that announcement about the Switch one coming out, which is really cool. New Mario and Luigi game is something I'm looking forward to. Bowser's Inside Story is up there, is probably one of the best ones. Super fun game, RPG style, turn-based combat and exploration in 2D. Great game. That's a fantastic game. Minecraft for the 3DS doesn't run that great, but it's really cool. The only downside is you can only play it on a new 3DS XL, or one of the new Nintendo 3DSs, or the new Nintendo 2DS. It can only play on those, so you can't play it on an original 3DS. But it's Minecraft on DS. It runs okay. Pokemon Diamond was another game that I played the hell out of. I just love my Pokemon games. This was probably the last one I played, and then I left the series for a bit, so I didn't play any of the Black and White games. And to this day, I still haven't played those. But Pokemon Diamond is great. I have Pearl on Switch right now that I've been playing through, but I remember playing this one back in the day and beating it. That was a good game. All right, almost done here, guys. Almost done. All right, Luigi's Mansion. We're just getting a remake for this on the Switch as well. Dark Moon is okay. I still think the first first Luigi's Mansion is the best, and a lot of people love the third one a lot. This one's okay. I guess we'll see how people feel about it on the Switch. I love Luigi's Mansion, but yeah, parts of this game were a little, they were okay. After a while, it gets super like repetitive, and you kind of want it to end at some point, and it just keeps going. But yeah, I mean, Luigi's Mansion on the go, that's really cool. Another new Super Mario Brothers copy. I just sometimes like to have multiple copies of these games, because if I play with my wife or stuff like that, I won't have one of those. And then another new Nintendo 3DS game is Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. I played halfway through this game and then I stopped playing it, but it's really cool that they were able to squeeze Xenoblade Chronicles into a 3DS. That's really awesome. Obviously, the graphics are really cut back from the Wii game, but if you want it on the go like this and then not on a Switch, this will be the way to play. Again, you can only play this on the new Nintendo 3DS systems, not the original ones. It says right there. All right, and then Fantasy Life is a fun game. I think they're doing another Fantasy Life game for the Switch, which is cool. This one just kind of, you can create your own type of character that you want them to be. You know, a chef, or you want them to be a, you know, a swordsman or stuff like that. So it's really neat. It's kind of lets you do your own thing and play the game your own way, which is really fun. I've been meaning to get back into this one because this one was really fun. I had only played it for a while. I never like beat it or got too deep into it, so that'll be one to definitely check out soon. Super Smash Brothers 3DS is really cool because you can just play Super Smash Brothers on a 3DS, which is awesome. It runs okay. It's a copy. It's you know, with the Nintendo Wii U one that came out, so it's just called Super Smash Brothers 3DS. But yeah, Super Smash Brothers on the go, really cool to play that. Always a fun time. Fire Emblem Conquest. Now, out of the Fate series, the one that I played was Fire Emblem. I'm blanking on it. Do I have it in my DS right now? I don't. That's another game. I forget what it's called. Birthright. So Birthright's the one that I played through. I got Conquest in a collection of a DS that I bought, so I definitely just have that one. This one's supposed to be harder than Birthright, and it's from the different side of things. But yeah, Fire Emblem games are super fun. The best ones on the 3DS, of course. I already talked about that one. Tomadachi Life. Such a weird little game. Tomadachi Life is super fun and weird. I don't know if you can really do too much with it since no one's really playing their 3DS anymore, but they did a Tamagotchi thing on I think on mobile as well. But yeah, that's just Tamagotchi Life, fun little quirky game. And then Monster Hunter Ultimate 4. I played a lot of this one. It was super popular on the 3DS. A lot of people were playing it. There was also a Wii U version or Wii version. But yeah, Monster Hunter on the go. It was super big on the PSP and on the 3DS. And then, yeah, I think you could get this on the Switch now, I think. I might be wrong. But yeah, Monster Hunter games are great. Those are always a good time. I forgot to put you back. And this one I had in my 3DS is just Pokemon Y. We talked about Pokemon X already. So that's just the other one. Last screen here, because I think my phone's almost going to run out of storage. Just all 3DS games. Another Super Smash Brothers 3DS game that I got. Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds is a super awesome from the top view Zelda game. Super great story. I love the way the characters look. If you get a chance to play Link Between Worlds, definitely play it. One of my favorite Zelda games. Super fun time, and the dungeons are great, the story is great, the graphics are great, the music's great. Everything is great about this game, so yeah, it's definitely up there with one of my favorites. Here's Fire Emblem Fate's Birthright that I was talking about. This is the one that I played a lot of. I love the story in it. It's really great, and it gets stupid hard later on, but it's really fun. I love the Fire Emblem games. The 3DS ones are my favorite. And then here we have Pokemon Moon, which honestly, here we'll just put these together. And Sun, I have Ultra Sun somewhere. These are my last favorite Pokemon games. I'll be honest, these are the last favorite Pokemon games that came out. The Switch ones I just really couldn't get into. Arceus I consider its own thing. That one was fun. But as far as the regular series, these were my last favorite ones. Pokemon Moon and Pokemon Sun. And then lastly, we have Fire Emblem Awakening, the first Fire Emblem game on the 3DS. I haven't played this one, but I heard it's up there as one of the best Fire Emblem games. This one came out before Birthright and Conquest. I think I actually started it, but I just stopped playing it for some reason. But yeah, this one is highly regarded as one of the best Fire Emblem games. If you love Fire Emblem, check out Awakening. And that's gonna do it, guys. That's all my DS and 3DS games. I don't know if I'm missing anything, and maybe somewhere in storage, but I'm pretty sure that's everything. I love the DS, guys. I love the 3DS systems. They're super great handhelds and great games to have to play on it. As you can see, there's so many different kinds of games you can play. You know what? Now that I realize I'm missing Mario 64 DS, that's somewhere. I'm sure it's in one of my other DSs somewhere, but Super Mario 64 DS is good. The graphics look a little better than the 64 game, but it kind of controls a little bit worse. But yeah, I love the DS, guys. Do you love the DS? I can maybe show my handhelds next time, because I have quite a few different DS, DSi, and 3DS systems. I can show those in a later video, but this video is getting long. I am getting tired. My voice is getting tired. I'm going to cut this now because I think this is like 30-minute video. Thanks a lot, guys, for sticking around. You have a good one. Have a great week. Have a great weekend, wherever time you're watching this video. Take it easy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.